Angela with Danceable Thoughts, and we'll call this our very first infomercial. So I'm super excited about some ideas I've been developing for you for your classroom. In my own teaching experience, I would often use the month of October to introduce ballet to my students, whether it was my beginner students or my more advanced. We would use October as a refresher because everyone knows that the foundations of ballet give you such a great foundation for any other style of dance movement that you want to pursue. I thought, since we all love a good theme, that I would work with a kind of cute idea about Bewtiched Ballet. So I'm going to show you what I started with was the idea for a poster. And I'll pull this in. So this says the positions of the feet, and there's English and French translations down at the bottom, and these are all cute little witchy feet. This is available, as are most of these pieces of paper I'm going to be showing you, on my Teachers Pay Teachers page. So you would go to teacherspayteachers.com, search Danceable Thoughts, and you're going to find this and many other resources. What I love about this is that I'm going to take this idea and kind of tweak the things I've done previously for my ballet unit and add this bewitching idea. I love a good theme. I can't help it. So, for example, there's your pose. You could take that, you could get that, download it, print it whatever size you want for your classroom, give them the basics. I also created what I called a note card format. So they are, I've done full-size pages here, but you can see that they're the ballet terms. French is in orange, English is in purple. These are positions of the feet, and each one will be highlighted. Now, I'm going to talk to you about these right now in the way that I taught them. Forgive my Texas drawl and my ballet class French, which is not approved by any French teacher ever, but it's certainly a great way to help you remember. So let's start with Premier. Premier, first position. When we talk to the students, we tell them, of course, here's the physicality of it, heels together, toes turned out. Tell them that all of the turnout comes from the center of your body and angles out. That way you don't get those weird crossovers. You might still, but that's a great way. So how do we remember first position and the French term premiere? We talk about the first showing of a movie. We're going to the premiere. Pretty easy. Now second position. Feet are shoulder width apart. A little hard to show without the rest of the witch's body. But I just had fun with the kids saying second and putting a bad French accent on there and then showing them that both in English and in French it looked very similar. So they did very well knowing that in the written text. Okay, now third position is a little bit trickier. If you look at this word, it does not have the letter W in it. But when you produce it with your vocals. When you pronounce it, you say troisième. And so I would give them this signal, the W, and I would say toi, and I'd have them say it over and over. And then I'd say toi, the W, it's third position. So that was the way they would remember that. This tells you that the front heel is crossed and touching at the instep or the midpoint of the foot. And again, this is where, especially in these crossed positions, they're going to turn their feet the wrong direction. Always tell them, find the center line of your body and angle your feet away. Your toes will go away from the center line. Now, I understand, as you do, that rotation really comes from the hips, and we want them to do that correctly. But for these beginners, it might be helpful just to say center line of your body, toes pointing out. Especially when we get to fourth, okay? Quatrième, fourth, okay? I would tell them to look at the written version of it and see that that looks very similar to quarter, and a quarter is a fourth of a dollar. Math in class, love that. And those are, again, there's a full foot apart. For my super ballet people, we know that fourth position can be done from first and stepped out, or we can do it from the cross position and step out. My recommendation to you and your beginners is use first position to step out. You have a better chance of them achieving it. But I just wanted to put that out there for you because my little drawing, she's completely crossed over. She's a witch. She's magical. Of course she has turned out. So fifth position, cinquième, fifth. That's the full foot crossed over and the heels are connected to the big toe joint. This is where we always have the kids get into weird rotated shapes. Remind them constantly in the crossed positions that they want to use their natural turnout. Try not to do the plie, crank it out, although you will see a lot of beginners imitate the advanced students where they try to push and force it. Just as a point to you as teachers, reminding your students that they have to begin with their natural turnout and then develop it from there. Speaking later to this is we're going to talk about the concept of floor bar, utilizing that to help both do body conditioning and helping them develop their turnout for ballet unit. It's a little more complicated than I want to get into in this because this is really focusing on our Bewtiched Ballet. So finishing up our little infomercial. Now this is really cheesy because this is how cheesy I am. But imagine that you have your own heather purple shirt, t-shirt, and across your billboard you have this little logo, Bewtiched Ballet. So these are available. I used some help from a great friend, Kim Burge. We have a heather purple shirt that says Bewtiched Ballet, and we have a lightweight 3/4 sleeve, they call it ballet neck or wide neck. Also, if you're a great shopper, coming up next, the next item we're going to talk about is Ballet to the Bone, which is my skeleton ballerina. So that'll be the next infomercial that I do for you about Ballet to the Bone. One more time, so all of these items that you're seeing, these things are printables. They're on Teachers Pay Teachers. Go to Teachers Pay Teachers, search Danceable Box. Think about October and what you're wearing in class to make that theme come alive.